Hey there, Tilray traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Happy Friday. It's Friday, May 17th. Hope you're doing well. There was some breaking news out today that we're going to be discussing in this video regarding Tilray Brands and an at-the-market offering and program. They're looking to raise $250 million, and they cite in the article, which we'll bring up here in a moment, to potentially expand in the U.S. And I've cracked the code, I think, in my opinion. So I've got a banger video here for you today. This is definitely a must-see. And I'm thinking that this could be leading up to a potential MedMen bid. And as we know, MedMen was recently filed for bankruptcy and have been delisted. So we're going to take a look at all of that and more. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. I am not a financial advisor. And then I mentioned that this could happen, right? We knew that as we start to see increases in price, we know CGC did something similar. They raised 50 million. OGI, we just had, I think, like 13 million shares of dilution as well in Tilray, and now this ATM. So yeah, it was 13.1 million shares. And then now this ATM offering. But in my opinion, this is to be expected. They said that they've even told us before that it was more than likely going to happen, that we were going to potentially raise more money to see some sort of acquisition or accretive investment and strategy, right? So this is all basically information that we already knew. And they said it's not going to be for general working purposes, which is great to see. But you can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So here's directly from Tilray Brands' website. They are announcing the at-the-market offering program to fund strategic and accretive acquisitions and accelerate expansion plan upon U.S. MJ rescheduling when effective. So we'll go through. They filed a prospectus supplement with the U.S. SEC, under which it may offer and sell its shares of common stock, having an aggregate offering value up to $250 million from time to time through an at-the-market equity program. The company has entered into an equity distribution agreement with TD and Jefferies LLC. Pursuant to the agreement, they can sell the common stock in transactions that are deemed at-the-market offering defined in Rule 415, including sales made directly on or through the NASDAQ. The timing and amount of any such sales will be determined by a variety of factors considered by the company. Sales may be made at market prices prevailing at the time of a sale or at prices related to prevailing market prices. As a result, sales prices may vary. So we don't know exactly when. It says if any as well. So the company currently intends to use the net proceeds from the ATM, if any, to fund strategic and accretive acquisitions or investments in businesses, including potential acquisitions of assets in the U.S. and internationally, in order to capitalize on expected regulatory advancements or expansion opportunities. The company does not currently intend to use the net proceeds from the ATM for general working capital purposes. So that is great to see that they're not, just doing this to keep the lights on. They're doing it for a potential acquisition, strategic and accretive acquisitions and investments. So I was kind of trying to decipher the talk here and the code, and it's looking like, in my opinion, we're going to see a bid on MedMen. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me after we go through this. But I think I cracked the code. So Tilray, this is directly from the Green Market Report. Tilray hopes to raise $250 million to buy U.S. assets, which I don't think they'll have any issue doing so. And again, we knew to be expecting dilution, right? They're still not profitable yet, so some form of dilution would be needed until they turn a profit. But then we also know that, Canopy, SNDL, OGI, all starting to get into the U.S., and the NASDAQ has said that it's starting to warm up to Canadian companies with U.S. exposure. And we already have the blueprint. We already have the path right from David Klein and Canopy. They already created the novel structure and created exchangeable shares. Now SNDL is following that move, sort of, on a similar move. And then OGI mentioned U.S. expansion and assets. So in my opinion, Tilray's going to, follow the rest of the peers, and it's going to start to look to capitalize on the U.S. assets, right, and opportunities. So this market, Green Market Report goes through some of the same information. So U.S. legalization, they talk about rescheduling. Tilray has over 800 million shares outstanding, which selling lately at 202. And then one thing I wanted to bring up here, MedMen receiver sets date to meet with creditors of MJ MSO's bankruptcy filing. So let's go down here. So Chicago, so there's, according to the bankruptcy documents, 11 secured creditors have claims in excess of 202 million Canadian or 148 million US. And then total claims eclipse 410 million. And then it was once worth, let me just bring this up here. And I'm going to bring up Jones Soda as well here in just a moment, the partnership with Tilray. But I don't think that, they're going to buy, maybe they buy Jones Soda eventually, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I would say it's more likely that they acquire MedMen assets and an investment in them. But MedMen is liquidating its California assets following a failure to clamp down on excessive debt, with its seventh CFO in 5-year period exiting ahead of its bankruptcy. So let's go through. I want to see here. I brought it up in the Pow Group private community as well. But yeah, it was once valued at, I think, $1 billion. I'm just going to bring it up here. And then I'll bring up the assets they have in just a moment. But yeah, in the Pow Group private community, I mentioned it here. So MedMen made a name for itself as the first MJ company to reach unicorn status by achieving $1 billion valuation in 2018 that later rose as high as $3 billion, according to a report by Fortune. So if Tilray was able to scoop it up, some of those assets, for 250 million, that would be a pretty good deal. And then if we take a look here, balance sheet, and this is for 2023 Q3, you can see here their assets for MedMen were 215.59 million. So that lines up exactly with my way of thinking that this could be a bid for MedMen assets, right? And we'll see what happens with this ATM. We would want the prices to get as high as possible. And then, it's no guarantee that they're even going to win the bid to get MedMen assets. But if I scroll down here as well, let me look for Tilray. So you can see here, through a 2021 deal with Superhero, Canadian MJ license holder Tilray Brands acquired a majority position in MedMen's amended convertible notes for $165.8 million. So this is looking interesting. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me. I think that, based just on this alone, that their assets are sitting here, based on Q3 2023, it's saying 215.59 million, and it's just been dropping quarter over quarter. But 215 million, that math adds up to me. And like I said, the writing's on the wall. They've already expressed their interest in MedMen. They bought the convertible debt. Did something similar with Hexo, right, where they bought a stake in Hexo in their debt, and then converted their debt, and then eventually took over Hexo for pennies on the dollar. Like, this is a smart move in my opinion. So MedMen, they're potentially going to scoop it up for pennies on the dollar as well. And the fact that, they're partnering with Jones Soda. Jones Soda is a very small company as well. But, what's the market cap of Jones Soda? Actually, Jones Soda, Yahoo Finance. I just want to check. I think it was like 10 million or something like that. 20 million, 39 million. So not a huge company, but potentially, they're partnering to bring Mary Jones MJ Drinks to Canada. I don't think that is going to be something that they pursue, quickly. If they do, and maybe Jones ends up being a buyout target by Tilray, but I don't think it's going to happen for a long time because they haven't even brought the MJ Drinks to Canada yet. So I think it would be at least a couple years out, at least a year or two out potentially. But I think the most likely scenario is that they're using these proceeds to potentially acquire MedMen assets. Let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me. I always love hearing from you, but the stock is down about 8% now on the day today. Testing 195 is the low of the day. And as you can see, MedMen on the CSE has been delisted. So it's interesting timing nonetheless, right? Even like just with the timing alone tells me that, this very well could be MedMen. They're going through the receiver. They setting dates to meet with creditors. And realistically, this was on April 30th, on the same day that we got rescheduling news from the DEA. So we'll see what happens here. But like I said, interesting timing. And I'm thinking that this very well could be a bid and a plan to acquire those MedMen assets. But let me know if you agree with me. Share the video if you think anybody in your network can benefit from it as well. Smash like if you think I earned it today. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Excited to see the comments on this one, and we'll continue the conversation in the comment section. All right, happy Friday. Have a great weekend ahead, and we'll see you again on the next video.